Okay, so we already had our pre-brewed kombucha doing its first fermentation. It brewed for about 3 weeks. I know a lot of people like to do it just 1 to 2 weeks, but it stays cold in our house, and so it doesn't...
Ooh, the milk came.
So it doesn't ferment as quickly as if we had like a warmer interior temperature. So first thing that we're going to do is, because we always want to start another batch, once we start our second fermentation, we always start another batch on its first. So the first thing you do is you're going to want to save about 1 to 2 cups of the starter tea, but really it's what's left over, or it's what you get off the top from your first fermentation. So we're just going to pour about 1 to 2 cups in here. So we'll use that for our starter tea, and then set it to the side because we're not going to use that right now. I know some of you may be wondering what our little contraption is set up here. So my kids like their kombucha to not have so much of the pieces of yeast and whatnot in it, so we try to filter it before we start the second fermentation. We actually, this is our first time trying to filter it, so we'll see how it goes. How we would do the first brew of the kombucha. So what we would do is you will want a cup of sugar for every gallon of kombucha you're going to make, every gallon of tea you make. You'll need your black tea.
Hey, speaking of black, do you think my dogs came? Susan! The milk came! Oh my goodness. Give me those, give me those, give me those! I'm so happy!
Oh my
goodness. Supposed to be here 2 days ago. 2 days. It said guaranteed delivery on the 9th. Today is the 11th.
Well, alright. So anyhow, speaking of black, we use black tea. Black tea is what you need to use. There's some other tea. Other people use different teas, but black is the one you really want to use. So you'll have your black tea.
It's not cut out.
You'll have your 1 cup of sugar per gallon of kombucha. And then you'll want filtered water. So I'm going to start.
Oh.
Well, I might start in a second.
What does this say?
Those look like navy. Are those navy blue?
No, they're black.
Let me see.
It says Tough Rider black on the receipt.
Alright, let's see.
It said they were out of navy blue. They're tough.
Said they were out of navy blue?
Yeah.
Did you try to get navy blue?
I did try to get... No, I tried to get navy blue when I was ordering them, but it said that they were out. Like, it said that there were no more. But they do look kind of navy blue. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, they look black now that you're holding up against the other pair that you're wearing.
I'm so excited.
Let me see. Oh, okay. They zip and stuff on the side.
Yeah, that's how the adult.
Oh!
They're Tough Rider.
Stretchy.
They're Tough Rider. Wait.
These will look nice on you.
Oh, there's only 1 button in them.
What?
We're gonna have to put buttons.
Why is there only 1 button? How do you
A lot of the Tough Rider stuff like that come with only 1 button.
What are they thinking?
I don't know.
Tough Rider, if you're watching this, wait. There's 2 buttons on this side.
Oh. I might send them back and be
There's
like,
only 1 button on this side.
That's depressing.
Alright.
It's okay. I can safety pin them like I do on my other dry.
Safety pin? Why don't you,
I safety pin
you can
them
put them away and then you can give them a call later.
Haha! Straps.
Well, yes, they're straps, but still missing a button.
They're missing a button.
Alright. right.
These straps are going to be really long.
There you go. You can give them a call later. I'm going to wash my hands again.
I'm so excited.
Yes. One thing that you need to remember is make sure that you always have clean hands, clean sterilized utensils. Everything that you use needs to be clean. Okay, as I was saying, you want to make sure that you are working with all clean hands, clean utensils, clean dishes, clean everything.
If you want to go by,
So
just go.
what we'll do is we'll just get the water boiling. Ta-da! I don't ever really measure out the amount of water that I put in here. What I'll do is I'll just get this going. Once this is done, I'll half it between, I have 2 half-gallon jars, and I will just half it between the 2 jars and then add
More water.
more filtered water to go ahead and just finish filling it up. So I like to just go ahead and do everything all at one time. So I'll add my tea bags and I'll go ahead and add my whole cup of sugar. Brought this to a simmer and we've let it steep for 3 minutes. Trying something a little bit different this time. Usually I let it steep for a lot longer because I love a nice strong tea. But I wanted to try something, a light brew that my brother does. He seems to enjoy the light brew. We're going to try something different this time, something different than we normally do. So then I'm going to take this off the burner and I'm going to let it sit to room temperature. Once it gets cooled down to room temperature, we're going to put it in our jars with our starter tea and our scobies, and then we'll cover it. As you can see, it's already covered. I just like to keep it protected, make sure no lint and particles, dust particles and stuff get down in it between brewing. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're just going to wait till it gets down to room temperature, and then we'll
take our scobies out of our SCOBY closet.
Our SCOBY closet. I love
our
it.
SCOBY closet.
Yeah, it's a SCOBY closet. So anyway, it's a cabinet. We store our SCOBY hotel in a closet, not a closet, a cabinet. So we store it in a cabinet, and it's nice and cool and dark in there, and so it lives very well with its roommates. But yeah, it's like putting a little SCOBY in a closet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's SCOBY.
So that's what we're going to do. But for now, we're just going to sit here and wait for it to cool down to room temperature. So the tea is now cooled down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add half to each jar. So inside each jar is my starter tea. So it was about a cup. If you remember, it was just a little less than a cup. I mean, a little less than 2 cups, sorry. A little less than 2 cups of the starter tea that I took off from the original jar. So I've got these. So now I'm going to add some filtered water to go ahead and completely fill up the rest of the jar.
What? You're waiting for the bubbles to go away?
No.
For some reason, I just smelled SpaghettiOs. I don't know why. I think it was like the tea or something.
Ew, we don't even
with
have
it. I know.
SpaghettiOs.
But I smelled them. I think it is that I'm smelling.
I have some scobies here. It doesn't smell like SpaghettiOs.
Smells like SpaghettiOs. I think it's just the starter tea mixed in with the black tea.
Yeah, it's starter tea.
No, it smells like SpaghettiOs.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so I have a couple of scobies in here. I'm just going to put one in each. So like I said, this is a different recipe. Well, not really a recipe for me, but I'm doing my tea a little bit different this time than I did before.
Alright, these go back.
So, as you can see, let's close this back up. I always just use a little coffee filter with a ring to go on top. I'm just going to put it in the SCOBY closet. It's just the cabinet. So, the first thing I think you guys will notice is one SCOBY is floating and the other SCOBY decided to go to the bottom. That's okay, it doesn't matter. They will do whatever they want to do.
I think you grabbed the wrong one. I don't know if this one's
It's fine, they're the same.
Oh.
So
are you sure?
Yeah.
You can't get it.
Oh, because you're supposed to put it straight, sweetie.
Alright, Mom. You can't even get it on there straight.
Okay, there we go. Alright, so I just put a coffee filter on there. Some people put a cloth and a rubber band or a cloth and a string. I just use a coffee filter with the jar ring and it works just fine. So now we're going to put these over here as well. Definitely a lighter brew than we've done before.
Oh, it is so light. I can like see through it.
So we'll see what that looks like. We'll check in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
But we'll probably end up not
drinking it for like another 4 or 5.
Well, no, we'll probably do the second fermentation in about 3 weeks, and then we probably won't drink the second fermentation for another week after that. So yeah, probably close to 4 weeks total from start to finish, but that's fine. So anyway, that is it for our first fermentation, and then you can keep watching, and then you can see what we do for our second fermentation.